there really is almost always a credit card for your financial situation. And when you do the correct research behind that and find a credit card that suits you, it can be a very powerful financial tool for you.
We are here with Henry, who is one of our interns this year at the Yukon project. And one of the things that we had Henry do is he spent an enormous amount of time looking at the fine print and the details of a bunch of different credit cards. And so one could argue that Henry knows as much about credit cards as just about anybody out there right now, because he spent a lot of time looking at every facet of these cards. And before we get started, Henry, why don't you tell us, before you started this project, what were a couple of things that you thought about credit cards at that time?
Yeah, I mean, I think I had a lot of the common misconceptions that almost everybody has, especially at my age, as well as just as the average person does. I think when we look at credit cards and the financial responsibilities surrounding them, it's really easy to look at it and feel intimidated. There's a lot of what seems like very complex financial decisions behind it, and there are definitely some financial decisions behind that can be viewed as complex. But I think what I initially had in my misconception is that you really just had to be very financially stable and very sure of your situation in order to have a credit card. But as I've spent more time, pouring through, terms and conditions and all that stuff that these credit cards have, I found that there really is almost always a credit card for your financial situation. And when you do the correct research behind that and find a credit card that suits you, it can be a very powerful financial tool for you and the people on that credit card, and it can be very advantageous to you. I think another misconception that I had stepping into is that, when we look at the language surrounding credit cards, like, minimum payments and stuff like that, it's definitely really easy to assume like, oh, I just need to make the minimum payment and stuff like that. When you step in there, understanding the terms, you'll understand that stuff like that isn't, financially wise. You want to be, best case scenario, paying off your balance before it can carry over on your credit card.
There are more than just a couple of credit cards out there. So when you said that there are, different ones that can meet your needs, kind of what do you mean? How many credit cards did you find? Was it surprising to you to find that how many credit cards there are out there?
Absolutely. There are more credit cards than you can count. You could spend probably weeks pouring through different credit cards. And that's why I think also a very important aspect of the Yukon project is that we are simplifying these financial things, and we're making people understand these financial decisions and find these credit cards that are suited to them. So I think what is very important to do is, first of all, understand your financial situation. Are you trying to build credit? Are you a student? Are you starting a business? Are you looking to find a car that you can travel with a lot for work or to see family? I think after you understand what you're looking for in a credit card, it's really good to look at resources online, look at even the terms and conditions themselves, as well as something that I found when I was researching these credit cards is a lot of people giving feedback about these credit cards. I think that obviously these companies are trying to sell you a product. That at the end of the day, a credit card is a product for a lot of these credit card companies. So I think it's also important to look at other people's feedback, because oftentimes when you look through terms and conditions, there's things that you might not originally notice, and you'll find online that someone mentioned, oh, I had to make my payment and this was something that I was unaware of. So I think when you find yourself looking for these cards, like I said, it's important to research them and just, I guess, put yourself in a good situation so that you can feel confident stepping into whatever credit card that you choose, and to manage your financials well and ultimately reap the benefits of having a credit card that suits you.
What are the don'ts that you have made for yourself when it comes to how you're going to interact with credit cards in the future?
It's really important to look at the language surrounding these credit cards. It can be easy to get caught up in the language and misunderstand a lot of what these credit cards say, like minimum payments. But often it's really smart to look at the best way that you can use the credit card and try to exclusively use the credit card in the best way possible for you. I think something that I'm just going to try and carry over as I start to build my credit and such is try to stay within the limits if impossible, make sure I'm paying my balance. Treat it as something that's very, very important, because it's a very important financial tool that can enable you to make important financial decisions in the future, such as buying a car and buying a house. So I think it's important to look at it in that long and wider lens, that sort of wider scope about future financial decisions, and understand that even if you don't buy that thing that you want to buy right now, you can definitely be setting yourself up for the future to make those financial decisions that are more important. So I think it's also really important to look at the short term with the long term in mind when it comes to credit cards.
So for someone your age or someone in college, what do you think they should be looking for in a credit card?
For someone my age, when you're looking for a credit card, it's important really right now to just build your credit. And I think, like I said, research and find a credit card that suits your needs. And a lot of these student cards have introductory offers that can be very beneficial. So at least for me in my situation, when I look at it like a student credit card that has an introductory offer, I could even have my parents spend the amount to cover that introductory offer so that I can reap the benefits of that and immediately use those benefits to continue building my credit. So I think at this age, when you're, looking, especially at my age, when I'm looking to build credit and not only enable myself to make, important financial decisions in the future, but also just to get a better credit card in the future, it's definitely smart to look at a card that suits what you're looking to spend on, whether it's as you're a student, if you're trying to buy groceries or if you're trying to buy school supplies or textbooks. Look at cards that introductory offers are reasonable and can help you out, as well as just when it comes to interest and stuff like that, will do more benefit for you in the future than harm.
When you're talking about introductory benefits, you're talking about stuff like if you spend a certain amount in the first 2 or 3 or 4 months, you get some kind of a bonus. Is that what you're talking about?
Exactly. Yeah, and a lot of these cards also offer, cashback. So if you're making purchases that are good for you, whether, like I said, it's school supplies or groceries or other things that are important to you, you can really reap the benefit of these cashback offers, as well as with these introductory offers. They can be very advantageous to you. I know a friend that he got a credit card, and he knew that if he spent obviously that minimum amount, that he would get the benefits of that introductory offer. So he just had his parents buy his family's flight tickets on his credit card, and then he obviously got the benefit of that without even having to spend his own money. But obviously that's not the case for everybody. Like I said, find an introductory offer that's beneficial to you. And even if there isn't an introductory offer on those credit cards, just make sure that you find a credit card that fits what you're going to be spending on. Because at the end of the day, that's more important than those introductory offers that can look so appetizing and beneficial to you.
Henry, thank you for your time. What I want to just tell people who are listening or watching, if you're looking for a credit card, one of the things you can do is head on over to theyukonproject.com. We have a marketplace where you can filter and identify the kind of credit card you want. We have well over 150 credit cards on there, so you can find the one that's specifically tailored to your lifestyle, your needs, and like Henry said, the things you're trying to accomplish. Henry, we appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Of course, I'm very grateful to be a part of a project like this and everything that you guys are doing.